School's out for summer, but it's not the time to take a vacation from reading.
No, absolutely not. In fact, there are studies out there that show that kids who do not read in the summer end up taking a big step backward. That's why New Mexico's Governor Susana Martinez has launched the New Mexico Reads to Lead 2013 Summer Challenge. And Governor Martinez is here to join us with more. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, new numbers out. These were out, I believe, last week. Show the state's in second to last place when it comes to graduation rates. And I think you've said in the past that something around 88% of young men and women who don't graduate struggled with reading as kids. Is this a direct correlation? You fix the reading, you fix the graduation rates?
You know, the Casey Foundation did find that 88% of dropouts did not read proficiently when they left the third grade and went into the fourth grade. So absolutely, if kids are reading proficiently when they leave the third grade, it has a complete correlation with graduation rates and their ability to stay in school and closing the achievement gap. And so it's so important that kids read at grade level before they get moved on to the next grade.
Well, tell us more about the summer slide and how reading over the summer or the reading challenge could stop that from happening.
Well, you do. You know, when kids are on vacation, they stop reading, and they kind of fall back a little bit on the proficiency. I mean, you wouldn't do this to an athlete. You wouldn't say take 3 months off and expect to be at the same place you were when you stopped working out and practicing. And so that's what we want to do, is encourage kids to continue to play soccer and be outdoors and be, have fun, but also pick up a book at night and read a book and join your parents, engage them, make sure that they're reading with you as well.
Yeah, if you get the family involved, it'll make a huge difference. I think if mom and dad read, then little boy, little girl read, it sets a good example.
Absolutely. And then, you can read together, you can talk about the words that you're struggling with, parents can get involved in making sure kids are reading well. I mean, it can be a family activity.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I think there's really no better way to encourage kids to do something, for better or for worse, than to give them a reward. And you guys have some pretty cool rewards that I'm wondering, can I get involved in this competition?
Right.
Kristen's like, I just bought a new book.
I love reading.
You know, we did. We wanted to make it exciting. We wanted them to be eligible for awards. And so if a child entering the second, third, or fourth grade next year, this coming September, August or September, if they read 6 books, they're absolutely going to receive a prize. If they read 12 books, and they have to be age-appropriate books, they become eligible for a grand prize. And we have 4 different programs, and so some of the grand prizes include Animal Kingdom at Disney World in Florida.
A trip for the children and their family.
All expenses paid. We have the Read program, which is over with the Isotopes and Dion's, that they are sponsoring. The Isotope game tickets. You can go and get snacks, and of course meet their mascot.
Orbit.
Orbit.
That's a favorite of ours on the show. He was just here a couple of weeks ago. That's a lot of fun as well. And I think, isn't one of the prizes to go on a hot air balloon ride with you?
Yes, one of them is to go on a hot air balloon and not tethered. We will fly away together. The student and I, who read 12 books, and keep in mind, we're going to have a bowl full of names of everyone who read 12 books or more. And we'll draw names and say this is who won that particular prize.
That's wonderful. Now, is there a certain reading list, or there certain books they have to read, or
no? Well, they have to be age-appropriate lists. Books. If you're in the second grade, they have to be second grade level or harder. We welcome that.
Right.
Now you can go on to readingchallenge.ped.state.nm.us, and there's some recommended lists there as well if you want, or just go to your local library and say, I'm a second grader and I read at the third grade level and I want a third grade book.
Okay.
And then you just log them.
And you get books for free there.
That's
you
right.
have to go buy them. Now, is this done on the honor system? Mom and dad sign off on it, or how does this work?
It is on the honor system. There's a log that gets turned in. You cannot turn it in after August 1. So August 1 is the absolute deadline. You write the name of the book that you read, how many pages and who the author was, and you turn in your list. And if it's 12, and I'm encouraging all the kids, read 12 books, because then you're eligible for these really great prizes. We have 3 vacations within the state of New Mexico that will also be paid for the family and the child to go to Red River, Ruidoso, or Socorro and actually go digging, archaeological digging. And you get to take the fossil with you.
Oh, that'd be so cool. I would love to do that as a kid. And you know what I love about this too is it's incentive for parents to kind of push their kids along too, because it's a vacation for everybody.
They could get away too. You're right.
Exactly. And get to know the parts of the state that maybe they haven't seen yet.
Right, and there are so many great parts.
Why do you find that there's such a challenge with getting kids to read during the summer?
Well, I just think that kids think summer is a break. It's a time to get away from what you usually do in school. But I always found reading that when you read a book, it takes you to a different place. It really gets you to be part of the character or feel like you're part of the book and a character within that book. And so I always enjoyed reading books that took me someplace else other than where I was.
And sometimes it's all about just finding what your kid likes, you know, what types of books. Maybe he doesn't like this kind of genre, maybe something else. But as long as they're reading, then, you know.
Absolutely.
It doesn't really matter, and it can take you to a completely different place. Before we go, real quick, I want to ask you, you in New Mexico have gotten a lot of accolades recently for education reforms. The Washington Post invited you to D.C. last week to talk about your third grade reading initiative, and I know recently the state got, I think it's about $25 million for reading and education. Have you gotten that money yet? Where's it going to go? How are we going to see that?
Yes, one of 14 states in the country received those $25 million, which is exciting because New Mexico's never at the top of any of these really good lists.
So here we are.
But it's our reform that is bringing the attention to New Mexico and allowing us to receive these funds. And it came from the United States Department of Education because we have a plan on how we're going to reform our education so that we're no longer 49th in the nation in education. We know where to focus those dollars, and it's from birth to third grade that those dollars are going to go towards to make sure pre-K, K, and first grade through third grade to make sure kids are reading. So when they go to the fourth grade, they now are reading in order to learn for the rest of their lives.
That's important.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll see the results of that very soon. Governor Susana Martinez, thank you very much for your time and coming in this morning. And great program. Kids, parents, go get involved.
Go get involved. That's right. Read a book.
You can find out more about that on our website at casa.com.
And coming up after the break, we're in the kitchen with the Palace Restaurant and Saloon. So don't go anywhere. Stick around.